So, Batya, how would you characterize what the president's current position is on the tariffs?
I think he's trying to create a kind of soft global embargo on China to elevate US manufacturing and to create the incentive to reshore. You played this clip of Elizabeth Warren this morning, and I think this actually is very important. She said, "We actually really like the idea of tariffs, but you have to lay the groundwork first. You have to build the factories first. What factory was going to reshore like voluntarily? How do you
Right.
get them to do that? Like that's what Trump figured out is like there has to be multiple avenues to make this happen. No one is going to do that voluntarily. And of course, Elizabeth Warren did not have an answer for how you get them to do that voluntarily.
Right. Steve, I want to retrot a little bit of the ground we're already on. Leave aside the chaos, leave aside the fact you don't like Trump's policies in general.
Mhm.
And leave aside even the last 6 days, just the current policy is in 90 days, if countries don't negotiate bilateral deals that reduce tariff and non-tariff barriers, the US will put tariffs on, and that there are going to be a lot of tariffs on China, and we're saying to China, we're now in an existential struggle with you. How do you feel about that policy? If Kamala Harris or Dick Gephardt as president had adopted that policy, what would you think of that? Again, leaving everything else aside.
I think our goal should be to negotiate free trade agreements. We negotiated free trade agreements. Donald Trump negotiated a free trade
Yeah,
agreement that used to
but
be NAFTA.
that's what he says he's going to do now.
Well, we'll see if he can do it.
Right.
I'm
But
not
again,
against
just
that goal.
but in the context of that goal, which you're not just not against, you're for, right? And you're for having them done on the most favorable terms possible to the United States,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, when I worked for Dick Gephardt, we used to do we argued for free trade agreements that have protection for labor,
Right.
protection for the environment,
Right.
protections
So
for our interests. Yes.
so if Kamala Harris had won and
Mhm.
she had come out and announced, said in 90 days, if you don't have a free trade deal with us, we're going to put tariffs on you because you're treating us unfairly, tariff and non-tariff barriers.
Mhm.
And we're putting tariffs on China right now, the way President Biden did and President Trump did, because China's a special case, and we're ready to negotiate bilateral deals with everybody. I think I don't want to presume, but it seems like you'd be for that.
No, I'm not
You'd say,
opposed to that.
no, but be more
But I don't think
be
we
more
should have had
charitable.
the last six
Well,
days
I
or the
understand, but
last
I
several
understand.
months
I
of
understand,
uncertainty.
but I understand you're against uncertainty, and I am too.
And you're not
But
going to be able to negotiate, Mark. And that, the reality is, in 90 days, you are not going to be able to negotiate all these deals. It's
well,
going to be a longer
well,
timeline to do it.
yeah,
That's fine.
but they can give
Uh,
them individual extensions. I just think for someone like you who's been a supporter of great trade deals for the US to try to deal with this systemic decades-long unfairness, you don't like the way he ended up, but he's ended up in a place now where he's going to be negotiating from a position of strength, having scared the bejesus out of everybody.
we'll have to see what the deals are. And
We will, we
I'm
will.
against the unilateral authority that the president has on this. A lot of
Yeah,
Republicans in Congress have done
yeah.
that. Again, when I worked in the Congress, we had negotiated NAFTA, and it had to be voted on by the Congress. I think they should have to do deals that get voted on by the Congress. This unilateral trade authority to the president is not a good thing.